Evil exists due to the failures of good men not rising to the occasion of when it must be faced. There are so many men out there that want to validate and excuse every reason under the sun to empower those excuses of why the accountability of their own preparation and training is something that can be neglected, is something that can or will be outsourced when the time arrives. I beg to differ. We have a moral obligation and a duty of care to those around us, especially to our own families. Have a listen to the yarn as I share with you something of why this is not to be neglected and why it is to be applied to all of our lives.
It's not something anyone wants to think about, even though we all should. What would you do if someone broke into your home in the middle of the night? How would you protect your family and property? When a burglar, armed and high on drugs, crept into his baby's bedroom...
What? Yeah. Who the fuck are you? Who is that? Who the fuck are you? Oh, you motherfucker, come in.
Right, on a current affair.
What do you mean?
A Melbourne man's been left terrified and is recovering after he was attacked by 4 masked men in his front yard. Security cameras captured the moment they ran at Kaiser, breaking his nose in 2 places. He and his young family are now living in fear and want these men caught before they can do this to anyone else. Watch the full story on Monday night.
A man who abducted 2 sleeping children from their beds in WA has been jailed for 8 years. Jonathan Anthony crept into his next-door neighbour's home north of Perth in 2023, high on butane gas and off his schizophrenia medication. He managed to kidnap the younger of 2 brothers.
Stand in the hallway, men. Let me ask you something that cuts through all the noise. If someone smashes through your front door at 2 in the morning, who is it that stands in your hallway? Who is it that stands in defense of your household? It's not the police, not your pastor, not your boys, not whoever you think it is that's gonna save you. It ain't no Superman. It's not your education or your theology degree. It's you or no one. And what is it that's at stake at that moment? Because it's not your ego, but instead, it's your wife's safety, your child's body, it's their innocence, your family's sense of security for the rest of their lives. This is going to expose your obedience before God. This is not hypothetical masculinity, but rather this is stewardship. Scripture does not romanticize evil, it names it. If a thief is found breaking in and is struck so that he dies, there shall be no blood guilt for him. Quoted, Book of Exodus 22:2. That verse exists for a reason. Because God understands that when violent aggression crosses a threshold, responsibility activates. The moral burden shifts to the aggressor. And the man of the house, he must decide. The lie of softness, modern Western Christianity has quietly discipled men into harmlessness. We confuse gentleness with passivity. We confuse humility with hesitation. We confuse peace with the absence of strength. But Scripture says, be watchful, stand firm in the faith, act like men, be strong. Quoted, 1 Corinthians 16:13. Be watchful, not distracted. Stand firm, not wavering. Act like men, not spectators. Be strong, not symbolic. Strength is not sinful. Cowardice disguised as gentleness is not Christ-like. This is something that you must understand. The theology is clear. This is not testosterone talking, but rather this is theology. Some early Christian thinkers asked serious questions. When is force morally justified? The answer gave us just more principles, and those principles apply inside your own home. Just cause, is there real aggression? Ask yourself this, be honest when you ask this question. If a violent man enters your house, well then the answer is yes. Right intention, are you motivated by hatred or protection? If you stand to shield your family, the answer is protection then, isn't it? Proportionately, does the force match the threat? Stopping lethal harm with decisive force is proportionate. And the last resort, have peaceful options collapsed? When a door is kicked in, they already have. This is not vengeance. This is restraint of evil. Scripture affirms authority bears the sword for a reason. He does not bear the sword in vain. Quoted Book of Romans 13:4. Within your household, you carry delegated authority and responsibility. And responsibility cannot be outsourced at 2 a.m., 2 in the morning, when shit hits the fan and everything has now kicked off. What happens if you are not prepared? Ask yourself that question. Let's remove all the drama and let's talk within reality. This is black and white. If you are not physically prepared and you are physically weak, well then fear will control you. If you are not mentally prepared and you are mentally brittle, panic will control your decisions, will they not? If you are spiritually shallow, well then, it's either going to be rage or paralysis that are going to control your actions. And when fear decides, the hallway gets crossed, the bedroom door opens, and you live with the rest of your life replaying what you should have done. You do not rise to the occasion, you fall to the level of preparation. You cannot build strength in a crisis, you reveal it. There is a difference. You cannot summon conviction under pressure. You expose what was already there. Understand this and apply it to the way that you prepare yourself within your life. It is your duty of care and your moral obligation to your family. Turn the other cheek, some will say. Gospel of Matthew 5:39. That passage addresses personal insult, a slap of dishonor. It does not command fathers to escort violent men toward their children. Christ forbids revenge. He does not forbid protection. Even Jesus Christ himself confronted evil directly. Meekness in scripture means strength under control, not strength absent. There is a difference. The weight of provision. If anyone does not provide for his relatives, he has denied the faith. 1 Timothy 5:8. Provision is not just an income. You must know that it also includes safety, presence. It is your readiness. When your children hear the glass break, they're not going to ask for a theological essay. They will look for you. This is not about loving violence, but instead it is about you loving what God has entrusted to you. There is a huge difference. You do not train because you crave conflict. You train because evil exists. You discipline your body so fear does not own you. You discipline your mind so chaos does not scatter you. You discipline your spirit so force does not corrupt you. The goal is not aggression. The goal is controlled capability. The final question: if evil enters your home, ask yourself, will you hesitate? Will you freeze? Will you hope someone else handles it for you? Or will you be the one standing in the hallway, not raging, not being reckless, not vengeful, steady, decisive, anchored in scripture, grounded in your duty, prepared long before the moment ever arrives. Because when that door splinters, there is no committee, there is no debate, there is only a man and what he chose to become before that night ever came. Understand what it is that you are doing within your own life to prepare yourself as a man, as the loyal guardian of your family, of those that you proclaim to love and care for. Apply yourself. Be ready, stay ready. Be about it, don't just talk about it. Allow that one to sink in. God bless. Peace.